Hello, and welcome to the Table and Well podcast. I'm Tennison.
And I'm Ginelle. Thank you for joining us as we discuss topics and give practical tools that help you live, grow, and be in healthy, joy-filled relationship with God, yourself, and others.
For more information and resources, or if you're looking for coaching, connection, and community, visit tableandwell.org. We hope you enjoy this podcast. You are listening to Fingerprints, how God is transforming the relational health of His family. All throughout this series, you will hear transformational stories from everyday people just like you. But what if this transformation isn't just for them? What if it's for you too? I want to let you know that it is for you as well. And that's why we've created Relational Co-Labs, intentional spaces where this type of transformation becomes real. These are small, safe communities where you will practice the skills that will help you grow and build joy, rebuild your trust, enable you to stay present in the middle of hard moments, help you deeply connect to God, yourself, and others, and experience the authentic connection that your heart was designed for. See, this is more than just another class or a book study or even a Bible study. This is real life. This is hands-on. This is heart-connected, and it's changing lives. If you're tired of disconnection, and if you're longing for something more, don't just listen to these stories, become one. For more information, or to join our fall collabs starting in September, go to tableandwell.org/collabs. You were never meant to walk this journey alone. And your healing is part of how God is leaving His fingerprints in the transformation of the relational health of His family.
Yep. So I have a curious question. If you guys could go back and speak to your earlier pastoral selves, what would you say about what it means to truly shepherd people into connection and maturity? Now that you have some better understanding.
I think it comes back to what we've been talking about, just that definition of joy. I love what you guys do in the workshop and in the Connection Cure, where we talk about the definition of joy being the deep knowing that someone is glad to be with us no matter what, and then implementing that in Scripture and realizing, that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So the deep knowing that God is with me no matter what, and He's glad to be with me no matter what is my strength, right? Or for the joy set before Him, He endured the cross. So for the deep knowing that Jesus was going to get to be with us, that's why He endured the cross. It makes it so rich, and we Jesus broke down what we need to do real simply: love God and love people. But the way we often love people is try to fix people.
Right.
Yeah.
and we try fixing them with all of these external things, when really, if we can just be with them and know how to be with them, that's what transforms people. And we always say, like, we don't want to build a church where everyone's relying on us for all of the answers. We want that community. We want to be the body. But it's easy to hide behind a Bible study a lot of times. It's easy to hide behind, these courses or different things that are good in practice. Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with them, but it doesn't build relationship. And if I could go back and give my earlier pastoral self advice, like, just teach people how to be present with other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
That's good.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the same. Yeah, just be present, be available. Just be aware. Just the awareness, like aware of just your nature, God's nature, and how similar those things are when in deep relationship and connection. because I think those are the things that kind of steward belonging, right?
It's good.
Deep down, we talk about family of God, and people want to belong to something as well as be seen. And I think just understanding that our nature is His nature, and choosing that. And so that's probably where I'd start.
That's good. I love that.
Yeah, it's easy to jump to conclusions and judge someone, right? When you see some sort of external behavior, but people usually have a good reason for doing what they're doing. And when you can actually sit and be with them and hear some of their story, you're like, oh, so you're not just crazy for no reason. There's a reason. And now I have a lot more compassion for you to actually be with you because I understand your story. But but it's easy to judge from just looking at the outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we spend so much time, I think we have been taught in Christianity to hide like our mess, our actual story. And we're all really trying to like function on our best behavior to earn those relationships and to keep them. But yet we don't allow, but our true self is not allowed at the table because we know we're going to blow it up if our story actually comes forward. Right. And so, these tools are so fun in the way that our actual selves and our full stories can come to the table and there's a safe space for them to be there. And the community knows how to respond well and to hold space. And the person who's bringing the story also knows how to bring it in a way that's not overwhelming. And those things are practiced and learned. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but because there's some guardrails in place and there's some understanding and language in place, it allows us to really reveal who we truly are.
Yeah.
Because none of us have come from a perfect place. None of us were like, like we have all messily found ourselves where we are today, and we have still a journey to go that is not going to be without rocks and stumbling and rainstorms and the whole gamut. And so how do we do that? How do we do that well together? And I think that's a lot of what these tools bring to the table is there is a way to do it together that can allow the messy, can allow real life without capsizing anyone.
Yeah. And also in the beauty in that too, we talk about just all the things that are happening around your table, but you're talking about, Ginelle, how it just gives us it's easier to be your full self in those spaces. The beauty too, guys, is that I know you've seen this, you've talked a little bit about it, but it goes beyond the table because now it infiltrates. You have these conversations on a Sunday morning or on a Tuesday afternoon or a Friday night at the hockey game or wherever you're going. There people can, when the culture is there and you're asking, when someone truly asks you, hey, how are you doing today? Then it gets the obligatory, I'm fine, or everything's good, slowly begins to go out the window because they know that I can actually share this. I can share in a way that's not overwhelming. And I know that they're going to sit with me and be with me in this and not try to fix it or give me some pity party. They're going to truly attune to me and help me and just be with me in this space and whatever I might need. And so it begins to change the culture, not only in the church, but then outside the walls of the church as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm curious because you guys have done kind of everything we have to offer. I'm curious where you see the difference where collabs come into play. So you brought us out originally for the Relational Leader Intensive, and that was to work with your leadership team, your staff of your church, and your small group leaders. And then, which is basically our Connection Cure taught live. And then you guys each chose into attending our collabs. And in the midst of all of that, you're also instituting tables in your church. So I'm just kind of curious for someone who's listening and they're like, yes, please, but I don't know what the best next avenue is. Why might collabs be a good option outside of maybe some of the other things we talked about?
Well, I think collabs puts everything into practice. Like if you're, in our church, we're trying to implement these tables, right? And so people are getting the practice and going through some of the rhythms as a group, but maybe not also getting the education of why are we doing this? How is this bringing me into emotional health and emotional maturity? But the collabs provide both. So you get to learn about yourself. You get to learn about how God designed us and how he designed our brains and how he designed us to grow in emotional health. But then you actually get to participate in it because adults learn best through doing and not just through reading. And that's what I appreciate about these collabs is that you guys have partnered both really well, that there's an aspect of, okay, I'm going to read this and I'm going to learn it and understand it. But if you do the homework and then you're participating in the tables, which is built into the collabs, it's like, okay, I'm actually experiencing this. So now when I go to read this again, it actually has real life application. Because if I'm trying to just read it and apply it without the experience, I'm actually probably not going to grow. I'm not going to take anything from it. Yeah, and I think that's what we saw even in participating in our collabs is the growth in ourselves and the growth in other people that were in the collabs with us. Is we're all actually applying these tools and we're growing together. And so that was really cool to see, and that's why I would encourage people to hop in. It's worth it. It's one of those things where it seems expensive at first, potentially, especially in the church world. I know we've had these discussions before. If it was the corporate world, the business world, you could charge 10 times as much and no one would bat an eyelash. But in the church world, it's like, what? How much is a collab? But then once you actually are in it and participating in it and experiencing it, you're like, oh, like this was cheap. This was not. You could charge 10 times as much and it would still be worth it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The benefit of the collab, like, just in the personal side of things for me, was just vastly beneficial. And I think, so personally for me, the collabs, like I wasn't prepared for what I was getting into. Honest, I'm like, well, I mean, I get it. It's emotional stuff. It's relational stuff. Like I've done some other things here and there, and done some of Frosty's courses. I'm like, okay, but I was not prepared for the level of homework. but that practice, that like the manual journaling and the interpretation and the all of these things that just like or I still remember the one of the who sets the homework was the what am I tolerating?
Oh yeah.
That's, like, again, like there's all these little pocket things, like, there was like, man, like showing up being my most authentic self, or like all these things. And I'm like, man, like there's these things, like at the same time, I'm looking at my introspective, like how this is impacting my heart and my world, but also, in the pastoral care side of things, we do a lot of counseling. I'm like, man, I can see how beneficial this is going to be. Like, just having the knowledge in myself to actually be able to speak that extra life into someone else and be like, hey, this is really great. And so when we, to bring it back to the table side for a second, when Frosty and I are kind of talking about the collabs in the midst of doing these table things, then people are like, where is this thing you're talking about in the relational cure? We're like, well, it's not there. It's actually part of the collabs. They're like, what are collabs? We're like, well, let me show you. So there's it generates the interest for a lot of people to be like, I want to join the collabs. To do those things, but it's all for the benefit of being like, I want to be the best version of me, the whole me. I really want to show up not only for myself but for others.
Yeah.
So I think the collab is like, it can seem, the time commitment can seem daunting. I think sometimes the cost can deter people, but I think the value of just being more whole. Like I just remember people in our collabs and journeying with them for that term, and just where we started to where we ended. And man, it was a delight and an honor to walk with these people. Because it's not just about doing the homework or reading some stuff. It's actually the community.
Yeah.
Right. The community that's also provided in that structure. it is there's just a fondness there, and so
I love that. If I can even add on to, like, I know something that you guys have after the collabs is there's communities that you can continue to be a part of, because that's like I don't know, a deficit or something. After you've experienced this, it's like, okay, well, where are my people to actually have this community with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my encouragement would be, don't do this alone. Do it with someone.
Yes.
Like, it was hugely beneficial for Des and I to be able to do this together, because there's a common language and a common experience. I know there's a few different couples, like Alfred and Vernia and Jane and Ken are in one with you guys right now. And so they're growing together. So, like, it's not just me being the best version of myself for me, but how am I going to show up in my community? And if you have someone that you can, that's there with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, yes, it's great to be able to hop on a Zoom call, but what about, you can't hop on the Zoom call? What about real life? And I think that takes a little extra, I don't know, I'm going to say vulnerability, because it is easy to jump on an hour call or 2-hour call, whatever. I can't remember how long it was, hour and a half, every week. And I can show up and be vulnerable there with people that I only see on a screen and I'm never going to see in real life. But if I have to do it with someone who I'm actually going to see next week, that's a different level of vulnerability. Tomorrow, and I just shared this thing that I'm checking in heavy because of this thing that happened at work, and Des is my coworker, right? And we pastor together. It's like, okay, well, how is he actually gonna be with me in this, right?
That's good.
It's easy to have a screen and have screen relationships, but the whole purpose of this is actually to build authentic community.
Yes.
And I can only have a certain level of authentic community 1 hour a week on a screen.
Right.
So I'd encourage people, hop in with someone, like, take that step, be brave, because it's worth it. It's well worth it.
What if your relationships could change? Most of us were never taught how to do relationships well. See, when you were younger, you were told to be kind, to be nice, to play with others, to share. And then as you got older, you were told you need to listen better, you need to communicate more, and you need to share your emotions and your feelings with other people around you. But the thing is, you were never taught how to do any of those. And because you were never taught, you're all grown up, and you feel disconnected, you feel lost, and you feel alone. So here at Table and Well, we have developed Relational Co-Labs. Our signature training is a 24-week guided experience that will teach you practical, simple, and powerful tools and skills that are proven to bring joy, healing, and connection to your most treasured relationships. And the beauty of these labs is that you don't have to do this alone. You will gather online weekly with a community of people that are walking through and are on the same journey that you are. This is a safe place for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to share, and for you to practice these skills that you're going to be learning. See, in community is where true transformation and true growth actually happens. So whether you're married, whether you're parenting, or whether you're finding your way through this world solo, knowing how to do relationships is everything. You can grow, you can change, and you can relate differently to those around you. If this is your moment to change everything, we would love to walk this journey with you. We have 2 opportunities for transformation this fall. Mondays at 8 p.m. or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Relational Co-Labs begin the week of September 15th. You can go to tableandwell.org/collabs to register today. At Table and Well, we are bringing relationships back to life.
All right. Well, we're going to ask our final closing question. And this is one of my favorite questions, because I feel like the people that we're interviewing, sure, the Lord brought you upon Table and Well, but this is something that has lived in your heart for a long time, this hunger for God's family to be safe and healthy. And we're just a piece of your journey that has existed long before you met us and will be walked out in a way that you were created for. So if you could share with us, what is your dream for the family of God in regards to its health and growth? What would you love to see happen?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. That's a big question.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
But-
Take your time.
How long of an answer do you want?
oh, come on, dream with us, Chris.
Yeah. I think Jesus' prayer that he taught us was on earth as it is in heaven. In some of the stuff I've taught in the past is that, man, I think I can't remember the exact scripture. I think it's in Thessalonians where it talks about putting on the glory of God, and it's like putting on like a jacket. And what we talk about is in how Genesis during the fall that God clothed them with the garment of skin, but also what was potentially taken away was also this being able to see into someone's heart and to actually have this deep relational connection. And God did that to protect us, because if we could see what's in everyone's heart, if I could see what was in Hitler's heart, that would be devastating to me, right? But it also put this veil between us and God. And so in heaven, when we get to heaven, that veil is removed, so we get full relational access to Jesus, but we also get full relational access to everyone else. And so that's why Jesus said there's not there's no marriage in heaven. On earth, we're supposed to experience that deep relational connection with the person that we're married to, that we're in covenant relationship with, that they know everything about us, and we know everything about them. But in heaven, we can experience that type of relationship with everyone. That I can see exactly, right? To see you, to know you, or to meet you is to know you. And so I shake hands with Tennison, and I know Tennison's story. And because there's no sin, there's no veil, there's no, all of the issues and baggage, it's like, wow, I get to know your story, and I just know it the way that Jesus knows it. And I get to see you with the eyes of Jesus. And so my prayer for the church would be that. That's a big prayer, but that it would be on earth as it is in heaven, that we can have people come into our church, or into our church body, or the body as a whole. And it's like, it doesn't matter what baggage you have. Hey, you're loved, you're seen, you're known. We love you enough not to leave you there, but we also love you enough to know that, hey, you can have that baggage when you come in, but you also have the freedom to set it down. And we're going to love you through this process. We're not going to run away. And it's a messy thing. I'm looking over on my desk here at this thing that I have. I do goal setting and planning. And when I first came onto the church, one of the audacious goals I wrote is that we're the healthiest heart church in Canada. And I didn't know what a dangerous prayer that would be. You got to uproot all the garbage. Right. There's always stuff, right? But that would be my prayer. That would be my dream, that it can be on earth as it is in heaven, that we can have those types of relationships where to see you is to know you, and I'm not afraid to be with you.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Just nothing hidden, just that. I often think about, agape or hest or hesed or whatever you want to say it. Just I know no man by their fleshly accolades, but I know them by how the Father sees them, and how, I see them by the Spirit. I know their spirit, I know their heart. There's nothing hidden, and just that real deep knowing of intimacy, right? And the in me you see, and that's the prayer, is that we just shed the things that don't matter. Those things that sometimes we want to hold on to, and we just let those things go, and we just be like, we are the body, where we submit ourselves to the unction to the Holy Spirit, the unction to the Father, and there's not a need among us, and there's favor among all things. Prayer for the church.
I love that. Well, awesome. Well, Des and Chris, thank you for being with us. This has been a fantastic conversation. Would love to do this again sometime, but I'm super excited for just what's happening at Summit Church there in Canada, and honored to be on this journey with you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing part of your life and heart with us. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You've been listening to the Table and Well podcast. New episodes stream every Tuesday. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review to let us know. Also, subscribe on your favorite listening platform to stay up to date on all things Table and Well. To learn more, start your journey, or get information on how Table and Well can help develop your community, family, or teams to be relationally healthy and authentically connected, please go to tableandwell.org/collab to schedule an interest call, or you can email us directly at known@tableandwell.org.